get someone who can bring something into this ticket, who can complement. I've looked for a private sector person. I've searched for someone with the knowledge and experience, particularly in economic, because I'm a lawyer, I'm a public servant, a public officer. I worked all my life in the public service of Nigeria. I looked for someone with experience in the private sector. Fola Adiola created a bank in Nigeria. Today is one of the best banks we have in our country. Fola Adiola played the most critical role in some of the government policies today that we are implementing, the pension scheme, the privatization. He's also an international person. He's a member of the Tony Blair in UK African Commission. He's probably the most important, most influential. But above all, he's a good Nigerian. He believes in Nigeria. He has the competence, the quality, and the integrity to be, if necessary, a president of Nigeria. Only God knows what can happen. I promise you, I'm going to lead and I'm going to do my best. I will be honest. I will work hard. But I believe I also need someone in an event of anything that he will be able to continue with the work. I believe Fola fit in perfectly. But I am also sending a message, and a clear one, that the government that we intend to run is going to be government of competent people, best that we can produce, professionals, those who will come and address the problems confronting our country. The problems are not really, they are common across the country. They have no color. They have no religion. They are similar and same problems confronting all of us. I'm going to look for people who are going to confront those problems in the government. And Fola is the first in such. And you are going to hear and listen to him. You will agree with me that I have made a good choice. I'm proud of him. Thank you very much.
Yeah, as if to test the expertise or otherwise of the VP, we now move to the economy, and we have an online question, which is from Facebook, sent in by one Mr. Sonde Levy, who is directly asking the Vice President. He said, you are an economy guru, and boys are not smiling. What will your government do to make us smile, please?
Good evening. I thought I was going to escape speaking because all the questions were coming this way. But hey, we're in Kano and it's a pleasure to be here. What are we going to do to make people smiling? I don't know, but I know what we are going to do to make people walking. I don't think the problem is about smile now. We need to put Nigeria back to work. I've always tried to present the economy to people in as simple a manner as I understand it. It is exactly the same way you run your life. The moment you start spending money that you don't have, you run into trouble. Okay? But here, the first step that needs to be taken is that the bleeding must stop. All leakages must end. Now, if leakages end, and then we identify all sources of income. For those of you who are reading economics and economy 404, 307, that's not where we are starting. We are starting from 101, okay? Because things are so bad. My flag bearer said to you that he is not going to be corrupt. That's a promise. It's not a threat. It's just a simple promise. Some of us can't even learn it anymore. So we stop the bleeding, right? This patient is in an emergency. We have to arrest the bleeding. Otherwise, we're going to bleed to death. Number two, identify all sources of revenue. Where is money coming from? How many barrels of oil is picked from the ground? How much comes from such sales? How do we deploy the money? Okay, that has to be done. Then there's something called sound money. Let's get a bit more complicated now. Sound money is money that reasonably is your own and is within your control. Right? What we spend today or the way we have behaved, we have not been spending sound money. All right? Now, unemployment is high. Every government project, every government policy must answer the question, what impact does it make on unemployment? Period. How many people will this employ? If we are going to spend 1 billion naira and it's not going to hire one person or put one person to work, that project has to be stepped down, right? We have to put people to work. I was waiting for Mr. President to get to that point where he will talk about some of those policies. For example, housing. It is ambitious, but it is doable. The ACN government plans to do 1 million houses in a year, right? By the time that starts, that puts between 15 and 20 million people immediately to work, okay? So before we start talking of economics in terms of GDP, in terms of growth, the only growth we have witnessed in the last 15 years in Nigeria is population, not GDP, okay? So you don't even need a rocket scientist or complicated knowledge of the economy to fix things. Things are not working. We get there. You know our symbol is the broom, right? Just for sweep out the dead, all right? And I'm dead serious. Mentally sweep them out, physically sweep them out, all right? And then have a clean office. Even if your office is untidy, you cannot see through. That's what we are going to do to the economy. And I want to also link this to the Youth Manifesto. In January this year, 2011, the youth of Nigeria came up with a manifesto. And the part of the thing that they said there that was very interesting is anything about us that does not involve us cannot be for us. Okay? That is what the youth have said to Nigerians. Now, every time we keep dishing it to you, this is what is good for you, this is what is good for you. No, you have come out to say what is good for you. Seven points on the issue. But you know the number one? Unemployment. There are 12 million Nigerians today, right? 12 million Nigerians today, graduates that are out of job. And then you want the president to talk about security. You want him to talk about so many other issues. Let's get people to work. And that is the beginning. The second one is education. We need to engage from children to adults. Everybody needs to be engaged. When people are engaged, then even without touching the economy and matching things and not matching things, things begin to get clear. So I want us to start from that 101. How do we get the system back at work? And then we can complicate it later and say that, okay, this is how we are going to do things. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Vice President Waiting. We are still going to talk on power, education, free and fair elections, but at the moment we have to take a short break. Thank you.
So a daidaita raba arzikin kasa a tsakanin masu kudi da talakawa babu nuna bambanci a tsakanin al'umma. Shi zama zaba, shi zama zaba, shi zama zaba, shi ne.
Jama'ar Najeriya, ido ba ma'auni ba, amma ta san daidai. Mu zaɓi Nuhu Ribadu a matsayin shugaban kasa domin cin gaban Najeriya.
Wane ne shugaba na gaskiya?
Mu zaɓi
zaɓi Nuhu Ribadu a matsayin shugaban ƙasa a tutar ACN.
A shugaban ƙasa Nuhu Ribadu shi muke kauna.
Thank you once again, ladies and gentlemen. We are welcome back here. Moving fastly, we still have an online question directed at the VP. It has to do with unemployment. It's from Kehinde Oladije, and his question is, the issue of unemployment in Nigeria is increasing at an alarming rate. Can you explain how your government plans to combat unemployment, please?
Okay, I'll make that as brief as possible. As if I knew the question was going to be asked, there are certain projects, there are certain policy projects that are in the manifesto of Nuhu. The key one, the provision of 1 million houses over a year. And that itself is a labor, it's going to suck into employment. The second thing that we do, and that is what I have done nearly all my life. When I was growing up, I left home with a charter, and I'll share the charter with you, and it will be similar to what you are going through. My parents said to me, go to school, get good grades, go to school, study hard, get good grades, get a great job, and enjoy your life. That was all they asked me to do. At my own time, I went to school, I studied hard, I got good grades, and by the time I left school, society met its own part of the bargain. All right? We still repeat that charter to so many of our children. In This is 2000. Yeah, in 1998, we needed 25 people to employ at the Trust Bank. And when we put the advert, we got application from over 2,000. And then we started putting the hurdle. Come and do aptitude test after a degree, after a second class upper. Come and do aptitude test. One interview upon the other in an attempt to do it by merit. At the end of the day, we got the 25 people that we needed. And I kept asking myself, where would the rest go? What would happen to them? And that led me, with friends and associates, to set up the Faith Foundation. Faith Foundation has existed for 10 years, assisting college graduates, university students, to set up their businesses. All we did was to think, go to school, it is vital. Study hard, it is vital. Get good grades, it is vital. Get a great job, we just change it, create a job. So we are going to assist people, policy level. Nuhu Ribadu has assured me that it's going to assist people at major policy level for them to create their own enterprises, right? Making entrepreneurship a compelling alternative to employment. So that is another way that we're going to put people at work so that you all get up, employ the next, first of all, employ yourself and make enough to be able to earn a living, then employ the next one, the next two, the next three. In the last 10 years, Faith Foundation has trained over 20,000 people, and that is the endeavor of one man, right? Who at the time that we set it up did not know that he will ever run for public office. So scaling it up to national level is a piece of cake. It's the same thing that we've been doing. We've done it over and over and over and over and over again. Thank you very much.
Yeah, let's quickly round up this sector by asking Alhamdu Jibril, if he's around, to ask the question on this sector, the last question. Alhamdu Jibril. Okay. Is he around? Okay.
Assalamu alaikum. I have questions here for you, Mr. President. What are the plans, what plans do you have for Nigerian youth with regards to making our lives better? 1. 2, what is your strategy for ensuring that medical tourism to foreign countries is stopped? 3, why wouldn't the opposition parties and you shelve individual ambitions and unite for a collective goal? Number 4, sir. Please. Number 4. Sir, it is widely believed that when you were EFCC chairman, you prosecuted individuals at the bequest of the government of the day. And therefore, you were only paying lip services or service to the issue of tackling corruption. Would you want to refute to this allegation, sir? Thank you.
Thank you, Alhamdulillah. This is very good, and I'm one of you. I also consider myself as part of the youth. If you elect me, that is one job for a young Nigerian. And I can assure you, as I get in there, I'm going to go with your agenda. I'm going to go and work for you because I am one of you, I understand you, I am part of you, I know where we can make a difference. I can feel it today in my house. I have about 6 of my own cousins, nephews, who are unemployed. I have my own younger brothers, same father, that have graduated for years now without jobs. I know it, I feel it. It's one of the reasons why I believe that all of us will have to just get ready and work for our country and make a difference. Everything that we do, I can assure you, is towards addressing those problems that we all know very well. Youth unemployment is one. I just want to assure you, the reforms that we intend to carry out are meant to address these problems, create jobs. Simple thing, for example, electricity, that we said and we promise you we are going to work so hard to get power and electricity for our people. That alone is capable of changing this country. The moment you have electricity, you will see how industries will just come up. Small-scale industries. Small, little things. Vulcanizers, electricians, photographers. Everything today in this world depends and relies on electricity. It is going to change and transform our lives. We are going to invest heavily in the non-oil sector of the economy. The non-oil sector is capable of creating jobs and grow this economy. Today, it looks like we depend so much on the oil sector. We do not talk much about agriculture. Agriculture today occupies close to about 80% of the work our people are involved in. We will put money in there. You will see the change it will bring. We have, my Deputy Vice President already told you about some of the basic, specific things that we intend and we are going to carry it out. Housing, constructions. Those are areas that can bring immediate relief, create jobs, but we do intend to change and transform the economy of Nigeria. And the intention is to grow it. And to grow it is to address the problem of our young men and young women. You are going to be part of it. You will participate. It is your government, and it is going to be carried out by you. You are going to be 100% involved in it. I can give you the assurance on that. On the issue of, you probably will have to remind me, because the questions are so many. You have 4. But I can remember one. You spoke about the work I did in the EFCC. You see, it's not going to be too, let me just give you this simple explanation. At the time when we started this work, before the creation of the EFCC, we've never had one single conviction for corruption in Nigeria. Never. The work we did, by the time I left EFCC, we had close to 300 convictions. Close to 300 convictions. And that it is not we that did the convictions. It is the courts in Nigeria. We work and we take it to the courts. It is the court that will decide the work we did. We have never decided any case on our own. And at the time when we were there, we had over 90% of successful convictions. It is the best way you can assess the work we did. When you fight corruption, it fights back. And I can understand that. When you attack it, particularly when it involves powerful people in the society, and they could not stop you in any way, they will always find something to hit you back. I can assure you that in this country, a head of state was killed, assassinated for attempting to fight corruption. I'm lucky I'm alive. I can also share with you, another head of state, a military head of state, attempted to also address problem of corruption, and he was removed just 18 months, and he was sent to prison or jail for about 3 years. They were military people. They work under military administration. I work under a civilian administration, a civilian institution with a constitution, with rules and regulations. The heads of state that I mentioned had the same accusations. At the time when they removed them or killed them, they accused them the same thing that I have been accused today. A lot of you probably were too young to know really what happened. Anytime you fight corruption, it fights back. And that in my own case, they did not succeed in stopping me from the work I was doing. I refused to take the bribe they offered me. so much money was given to me. I took those cases to court, and we have seen the result. But there is no way for you to totally say that you are going to insulate yourself from, especially when you join politics. Up till now, I've been talking about this, and I've been sending this challenge out. I want to see one single person in Nigeria today that I investigated and brought him to justice to come out and say, Nuhu, you did that because of something other than the work we did. Up till now, I'm waiting for one single person to come out. And I'm still waiting, and it is a challenge open to all. Those people we brought to justice, 90% or more than that were members of the ruling party. I know so many of them were very, very close to the president at that time. Just check and see how many cases that we brought to justice. Who are they? And see whether what you have said now is true or not. But like I said, corruption fights back. It is always so. I'm grateful to God that I'm alive and I'm still standing. I have survived. Others did not.
Thank you very much.
I still want to, you have taken too long, but I have answered 2 questions. The other 2 are, if
and
you
he's
can...
entitled to just one, sir.
I think we should just answer him. It is okay. What are the 2 other questions? Do you remember? Okay, yes. On the possibility of the opposition parties coming together. I am for it. I want to see it happen. And I believe it's still not too late. The progressives will have to find a common ground, understanding, and possibility of coming together to confront this huge monster called PDP. PDP has taken our money. And you know, and they have said it. They said they spend 100 million naira daily. But I can assure you this time it will not work. Because Nigerians are not going to be what they believe they want us to be. We know what happened within the party. If you have money, you can get what you like. You can be a candidate if you have the money. But general election, I believe, is going to be different. And I believe, ladies and gentlemen, just wait and see what is going to come out of this election. I know, as a fact, PDP is very, very weak. I know that Nigerians are not with them. I believe wherever you see them making it, or wherever PDP is going to make it, don't check very well. In my own constituency, and I believe in Kano and so many other PDP will not make it because people are not going to take the money and that they are not going to allow them to take it. I believe Nigeria has reached a point where we are going to ensure that we have free and fair elections. All the same, the progressives must come together. For me, I am ready. I have always said it. I've consistently been in that position of all of us coming together in a way that we will be able to give Nigerians alternative platform to what is going on, this failure that has been ongoing in the last 12 years of our lives. We need a change. We must get change. Progressives come together. I agree with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. As I've earlier said, time is not actually a friend, and we have less than 5 minutes to actually wrap up. But we will try to take as many as we can. And we have one other question from the audience, which is actually directed also to the Vice President. Problems in Nigeria are common and similar. Kano need deliberate and conscious efforts. What will ACN do, Mr. Vice President? Hajia Aisha Dankani, MFRMNI. She is saying, problems in Nigeria are common and similar. Kano needs deliberate and conscious efforts. What will ACN do, Mr. Vice President?
Can I add, sir?
Yes, please.
Can I add, sir? What I'm saying, there are over 5 million votes for the taking in Kano. And I think outside Lagos, only Kano has over 5 million votes. We have talked about, when I saw the questionnaire, it was education, health, this, that. I really didn't know which of them to pick, because everything you could ask so many about. And that's why we said that the problems are many, they are similar and common, but they are not the same when you look at the number. We're about 14 million people in this state, sir. The National Population Commission keeps saying 10. We're about 14. You need to come to the center of Kano and see poverty in its real form. Honestly, I don't know which part or which area out of the various things I, for one, with the little work I do, will help